Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Mac here with the final part of our Life is Strange double exposure 100% guide for all the collectibles, photos, and everything else you could possibly grab. We'll start off with photo 18. You'll make your way to the roof where you can talk to Moses. Before you do that, make sure you grab photo number 18 on the railing. Only talk to him afterwards. And then when you do talk to him, you can watch a movie or take a photo of him. It doesn't actually matter which one you pick, but I decided to take a photo. And this is a story-related photo. You will need to use double exposure, but this is story-related if you want to keep making progress in the game.
But if I superimposed two images of most...
Next up, without getting into too many spoilers, you will come to a mandatory section of the game where you are transported to the Blackwell Academy bathroom, from where you take control of Max, turn around to find photo number 19.
Max and Sophie?
Later on, we'll come to another story-related photo that you have to take. This one is in the bowling alley, and it's of Lucas. We'll have an objective here to save Lucas, and we will need to do the double exposure again. Double exposure is not needed for the frame fatale achievement, but it is necessary to make progress in the story here. A little bit later on, you will return to the bar. Do not exit to the patio to talk to Gwen. There is a photo you'll want to grab first by going and switching worlds. And after you do that, go to the kind of front of the bar, not far from the stage. Again, do not exit to the patio or you'll have to replay through chapter select. But grab photo 20, our final photo, not far from the stage. A bunch of achievements or trophies should unlock at this point if you'd follow along and gotten 20 out of 20. You can then go to the washroom area and switch worlds again. This is necessary to make more story progress, as we'll need to talk to Gwen in order to develop the story further. Once you are in that world, you can go to the patio to talk to Gwen, but make sure you take a snapshot of them. And again, this one is story related and does require double exposure, but you should be good to go once you're done.
Hang on, Gwen. It's almost over.
Now bear with me here, the next few might seem really confusing, but they're not. If you have the cat content, you would have found the cat owner in chapter 4. If you did that, you'll know that Loretta is the cat owner and you return her cat to her during this chapter. Once you return that cat to her, go and find her underneath that little pagoda, talk to her and take a photo of her. Now if you didn't find the cat owner, or you don't have the cat exclusive DLC, that's fine. You can just skip this step and you'll still get the frame fatale achievement, but you do have to get a different photo of Loretta. Just for the purposes of the guide, I'm calling this Snapshot 32, and this is the A possibility. Also, I did use the double exposure on this photograph, but I'm like 99.9% sure it's not necessary in order to get the achievement or trophy. Now, if you weren't able to get option 32A, that means you're in a playthrough where you can grab option 32B, and either one of them are fine. You do not need both of them. Only one playthrough is necessary. In option B, basically, this is just the scenario where we either don't have the exclusive cat content, or we didn't interact with the poster at the bar and then did not find the cat owner. Either way, Loretta's in the same place and you want to grab her snapshot. Now, Snapshot 33 also has a couple of variants. If you romanced Vihn in Chapter 3, Reggie will also be standing here next to Loretta. It will be required that you have a conversation with them and take a snapshot of them. As I let you know earlier, I only romanced Amanda, therefore Reggie is not here in my playthrough, but if he was, I would take a snapshot of him. For the next one, it's a little bit easier. Everyone has to grab this one. It's the Caledon statue from Loretta and Reggie. Go ahead and grab the Caledon statue, which is kind of directly in the middle of your path. You'll have to do the little inspection on the statue, and you do not have a good angle to take a photo. What you can do, though, is you can stand kind of right next to the bridge, and you'll take a better photo of it, capturing one of our final snapshots of the game.
I wonder how I'll feel about this photo in 10 years.
Eventually, you'll make it back into the snapping turtle. This is the kind of finale of the game, and there's going to be a whole bunch of conversations and snapshots we need to have. The first one I believe is automatic as soon as you enter, and it's with Moses. Make sure that right after that conversation, you turn around and interact with him in order to take a snapshot. When possible, here I did use double exposure, and I did use the smile prompt. Again, I'm fairly certain this isn't necessary, but if you want to be safe, you can double expose and ask for the secondary pose here.
I couldn't smile.
If you did not romance Vihn in Chapter 3, Reggie and Vihn will be at the bar together. You'll talk to both of them, and then after that conversation, you can grab a snapshot of both of them. Again, you don't need this one if you have Reggie back with Loretta. You'll either get one or the other. This is another example of where I did use double exposure, and I'm fairly certain it's not necessary.
Hell yes.
They're kind of a cute couple, honestly.
Now, on the flip side, if you did romance Vihn in Chapter 3, only Vihn will be at the bar, solo, and you'll have a conversation with him, and you'll be able to grab a snapshot of him as well. Again, this isn't something I did, so you don't need to do it. You just need to make sure you get the ones that are available in your version of the game. So regardless of who's sitting here in your playthrough, make sure you take a snapshot. Everything that's left is super simple. Snapshot 36 for this guide will be diamond. As you're walking around in the bar, you'll have an automatic conversation with them. Once that conversation is over, you can find them sitting next to Moses at the bar, and you can approach and ask for that snapshot as we've been doing. You want to do that. I did use the double exposure and the smile pose if it was available here. Again, it shouldn't matter, but I did do it. Next, another person we'll need to talk to at the end of the game is Amanda. Amanda is pretty much right in front of you in the middle by the stage. You should talk to Amanda, have a lengthy conversation, and at the end, ask politely to take a snapshot, in which, again, I'll use double exposure and the smile pose, but it's not necessary. Either way, we are nearing the end of the game here.
For the road?
Sure.
Say cheese.
I will not.
Then I have snapshot number 38. This is Gwen. Gwen is only here because I saved the footage back in an earlier chapter, and because I watched that footage in Chapter 3, and I talked to her at the bar in Chapter 3. This is basically the good ending for Gwen, and that's the only reason she's here. Otherwise, she's not present. After your conversation, have a snapshot. Again, I use double exposure and the smile toggle pose, but I don't believe either of those are necessary. If Gwen is in your game, though, you are going to need to get the photo. If she's not in your game, you don't technically need the photo, but either way, if she's here, you should check, and she should be here if you've been following along. This was my final frame for frame fatale. However, there is still one more achievement. After that conversation and all of the conversations being exhausted in the bar, you should now receive your final message from Platypus Facts. Open up your phone and read this final message. Doing so will unlock the Platypus Genius. Putting this video together was a lot of work, so I'd really appreciate if you dropped a like if you found it helpful. Feel free to use the explore mode to mop up anything you might have missed, and I hope you enjoyed. Share the video with a friend. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. Peace.